How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
So, guys, today we have a Sean. He is 26 years old, and he's young entrepreneur who is pursuing his dream. He left his job, and it's something interesting. And I just wanted to know, like, how the whole thing worked. So I'm gonna ask Sean. Hey, Sean, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Thanks for having me here, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so Sean, tell me, like, how did the whole journey started? Like, I heard that you did computer science, you worked for about 2 years, and then you left your job in order to pursue your dream. Can you please tell us, like, how did the whole thing started?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was working in like a tech job this is probably about a year and a half out of college. And it was a great job, but I felt kind of weighed down. I felt like the environment I was in there was more for me potential-wise. So I took a really sort of ready, fire, aim approach to pursuing my dreams. I didn't really know what I was going to do. My gut was just telling me, you have to be somewhere else.
Okay.
So yeah, on a whim, I ended up quitting my job and moving down to Atlanta from Boston because Atlanta has a much more creative community, and I felt that was more of my vibe for finding my tribe and my culture of pursuing my dreams.
So you basically want to become a writer someday. You want to, like, get into Hollywood or something, be a script writer, or you just want to publish your own novel?
Yeah, I would say my two loves are music and book writing, particularly novels. That's my big thing. And so again, that's where I moved to Atlanta for it, is they have a thriving arts scene for both the music and the arts. So I really came down here to try to network and make connections to ultimately make it as a full-time writer and musician. I'd say both. Yeah.
Oh, you love Atlanta. Oh man, trust me, there's a lot to offer in Atlanta. There's a bunch of music studios in Atlanta, and what about tech job? Like, did you enjoy your tech job or not? And tell me about, like, housing that you purchased a house, and how do you make an income if you're not working for a tech job?
Oh yeah, so I liked my tech job, but it was a job, it wasn't my passion.
Okay.
And I wasn't growing as quickly as I would have liked to in my career. Like I said, I came to Atlanta with just the thought of I'm going to wait tables and be a starving artist. Turns out I didn't like being a starving artist. Yeah, it wasn't fun, barely getting by. And so, luckily I learned about real estate investing a little bit.
Okay.
And had a bit of money saved up from my tech job to put down the payment for this house.
Okay.
And that's really what kind of helped me get my feet off the ground and make ends meet. Was I started running Airbnbs. I do 3 rooms out of my house, and that was paying the bills.
Great.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for almost a year now, and that's helped me cash flow nicely to take care of my finances and day-to-day stuff, and focus now back on my art. Luckily.
Okay, so you purchased a house, you rented 3 rooms for Airbnb, and that's how you make your living. And you also do any other job apart from that?
Yeah, so I still was, after, I bought my house in Airbnb at the beginning of 2020, about 8-9 months ago. I was still waiting tables full time because I really wanted to get a nice reserve up so that I could take greater entrepreneurial risks.
Okay.
I actually just went part time to waiting tables, and that's good because that's freed up a lot more of my time, but I'm still able to be cash flow positive. But now that I have more time and more money, I'm able to venture off into greater risks, ultimately in favor of my art.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions for those who want to pursue their passion but they are afraid of taking a risk and getting into passion? Because a lot of people want to become a YouTuber, a lot of people want to get into modeling or actor, but they're too afraid that the job which they are doing, they're not liking it, but they want to pursue something else, they want to pursue their passion. And some people, I would say 90% of the people, they fail. Only 10% of the people, they are pretty successful when taking such risk. Do you have any such suggestion for those young 25-year-old kids who want to pursue their passion, but they're too afraid to take a big risk?
Absolutely. I think I'd be most comfortable in terms of giving advice and just highlighting what works for me, because I think there's so many ways. But what I really did was, for me, I was really following my gut, because what I did was not rational by any means, and it didn't make sense to a lot of people, including me. But following my gut sort of is what got me here and was able to help me get this real estate taking off and get me in a much better position to chase my dreams. On the more practical side of things, I would really encourage people to actually, especially if you're more artistically inclined, learn a little bit more about business and personal finance. Make sure you can live below your means. Make sure you know how to reduce your expenses. You can learn real estate like house hacking, as I've done. And once you're in a place where you can sort of maximize your finances and take care of your money, you'll find you'll have much more leverage to design your ideal life to pursue your dreams.
So you're basically saying to those young lads that stop going to bar and pay $18 for the whiskey.
Yeah. I'd say, it's pretty much that, just make sure you're not, you can certainly have fun in life. I'm not someone who's a Dave Ramsey and say, save every penny. But, if you can take account of your expenses, you'll probably find you're spending a lot more in some areas of your life that can be brought back. Yeah.
So that's what I learned from it. So I used to go out and, go to a expensive rooftop, spend about $15 for a cocktail. I just realized that I have to make it thanks to YouTube and Google University. I learned how to make it at home, and the same thing I could actually make it for $4, and I can serve it to at least 3 more people. So I can still have fun, but I reduce the overall cost, which is by almost 70%.
Absolutely.
So it's great that you understood, not only pursuing your passion is the biggest thing and your priority, but you learn the personal finance, business, and then you took a step that would help you move forward in your passion.
Absolutely. I'd say I was always following my passion and my gut, but I was always taking calculated risks. I was never totally irrational. I always made sure that I could keep, the lights on and food under the table, and make sure anytime I took a risk that I always thought, what's the worst thing that could happen, and make sure that the risk-reward ratio was in my favor.
Oh, that's great.